Hi, class. Today's book is going to be Too Many Tamales. Did you like that book the other day? I did. We're going to read it again today, but Miss Cliff is going to ask you some different questions. And I want you to focus on how do you think Maria was feeling? She felt different ways during the book. Let's get reading.
This is Too Many Tamales by Gary Soto and Ed Martinez. When you see the front cover, you see Maria and you see her cousins and a big plate of tamales. And look at their eyes. Their eyes are huge. I think this must have been the part where they thought that they had to eat all of the tamales to find the mother's ring. If you can remember, Maria took her mother's ring and put it on her finger without her mother's permission. Then she forgot the ring and thought that they had ended up in the food that they were making for Christmas, the tamales. Let's remind ourselves what happened. Snow drifted through the streets, and now that it was dusk, Christmas trees glittered in the window. And look, there's Maria in the window. I bet she's really excited that it's snowing. I know when it snows, I get excited. Maria moved her nose off the glass and came back to the counter. She was acting grown up now, helping her mother make tamales. Their hands were sticky with masa. Very good, her mother said. And look at Maria's face. She's really happy to be helping her mom, isn't she? When I help people, I know that it makes me feel good inside too. Maria happily kneaded the masa. She felt grown up, wearing her mother's apron. Her mom had even let her wear her lipstick and perfume. If only I could wear Mom's ring, she thought. Maria's mother had placed her diamond ring on the kitchen counter. Maria loved that ring. She loved how it sparkled like their Christmas tree lights. When her mother left the kitchen to answer the telephone, Maria couldn't help herself. She wiped her hands on the apron and looked back at the door. I think she looked back at the door to see if anyone was coming because Maria knows that she doesn't have permission to take the ring, right? Yeah, and look, she's kind of thinking about it. She's thinking about her decision, whether she should do it or whether she shouldn't. But we all know she decides to, right? I'll wear the ring for just a minute, she said to herself. The ring sparkled on her thumb, and look at Maria's face. How is she feeling? If you thought she felt excited or happy, I think you're right. Maria returned to kneading the masa, her hands pumping up and down. On her thumb, the ring disappeared, then reappeared in the sticky glob of dough. Her mother returned and took the bowl from her. Go get your father for this part, she said. Oh, then the three of them began to spread masa onto corn husks. Maria's father helped by plopping a spoonful of meat in the center and folding the husk. He then placed them in a large pot on the stove. They made 24 tamales as the windows grew white with delicious smelling curls of steam. Guys, this is making me hungry. And look at all the families there. It's the holidays. I bet Maria and her family and her cousins are super excited about that. A few hours later, the family came over with armfuls of bright presents. Her grandparents, her uncle and aunt, and her cousins Dolores, Teresa, and Danny. Maria kissed everyone hello. Then she grabbed Dolores by the arm and took her upstairs to play with the other cousins tagging along after them. Yeah, here's the page we talked about on Wednesday. Look at Maria's face. She's shocked. I think this is the moment that she notices she doesn't have the ring. Oh my goodness, the ring, she screamed. Everyone stared at her. What ring? Dolores asked. Without answering, Maria ran into the kitchen. And you guys were right. She ran into the kitchen to see if she could find her mother's ring. Oh, here's the picture from the front cover of the book. Their eyes look really big and wide. They see the plate of tamales. The steaming tamales lay piled on a platter. The ring is inside one of the tamales, she thought to herself. It must have come off when I was kneading the masa. So how do we think she's feeling now? Just think, if you did something that you weren't supposed to do, if you took something that you weren't supposed to take, and you lost it, oh no, she's feeling a little bit frightened, right? Because she doesn't want to get into trouble. Dolores, Teresa, and Danny skidded into the kitchen behind her. Help me, Maria cried. Maria is desperate. She needs some help. She doesn't know what to do. They looked at each other. Danny piped up first. What do you want us to do? Eat them, she said. If you bite something hard, tell me. Okay, so it seems like Maria has made a plan to eat all of these tamales. But how do you think this is going to work out? Do you think this is a good idea? I don't think so. I think a better idea would be for her to just tell the truth. But she's not going to. They're going to eat all of the tamales. Look at them stuffing their faces with the tamales, Maria says. Keep eating. Their stomachs were stretched till they were hurt, but the cousins kept eating until only one tamale remained on the plate. I think the cousins are helping her because they love her, and they're trying to help her because she's in trouble. She's done something that she wasn't supposed to do. Have you ever done that before? Tried to help your friend when you knew your friend was doing something wrong? This must be it, she said. The ring must be in that one. We'll each take a bite. You first, Danny. Danny was the youngest, so he didn't argue. He took a bite. Nothing. Dolores took a bite. Nothing. Teresa took a big bite. Still nothing. It was Maria's turn. She took a deep breath and slowly and gently bit into the last mouthful of the tamale. But we all know it wasn't in there. Nothing. Didn't any of you bite something hard? Maria asked. Danny frowned. I think I might have swallowed something hard, he said. You swallowed it? Teresa said, I didn't bite into anything hard, but I think I'm sick. She held her stomach with both hands. Maria didn't dare look into Teresa's mouth. She wanted to throw herself on the floor and cry. Oh my goodness, the ring was now in her cousin's throat, or worse, his belly. How in the world could she tell her mother? So she lost the ring, and now she thinks the ring is in her cousin's stomach. So it looks like that plan didn't work at all. That didn't help Maria out at all. Here she is. And let's look at her. She's looking down. She's probably sad because she knows she has to tell her mother the truth, and she might be a little afraid of what might happen, of what her mother might say. She could feel tears pressing to get out as she walked into the living room where the grown-ups sat talking. They chattered so loudly that Maria didn't know how to interrupt. So she's kind of being really brave because this is really hard to do. After you've done something that you shouldn't have done, it's hard to tell the truth. But I'm glad Maria decided to do that. Finally, she tugged on her mother's sleeve. Oh, it looks like she regrets what she did. Regret is when you do something, but you feel bad about it later. Yeah, look at her face. But what do you notice, guys? What's the matter? Her mother asked. She took Maria's hand. I did something wrong, Maria sobbed. What? Her mother asked. Maria thought about the beautiful ring that was now sitting inside Danny's belly, and she got ready to tell the truth. She got ready to confess. But then she gasped. The ring was on her mother's finger, as bright as ever. The ring! Maria nearly screamed. Maria's mother scraped off a flake of dried masa. You were playing with it, she said. So let's think about that. If the ring had dried masa on it, I think maybe the ring had been stuck into that the masa mixture. I wanted to wear it, Maria said, looking down at the rug. Then she told them all about how they'd eaten the tamales. Her mother moved the ring on her little finger. It winked a silvery light. Maria looked up and Aunt Rosa winked at her too. Well, it looks like we'll have to cook up another batch of tamales, Rosa said cheerfully. And look, all of the family has come back together to make more tamales. Maria held her stomach as everyone filed into the kitchen, joking and laughing. At first, she felt like crying as she needed a great bowl of masa next to Aunt Rosa. Yeah, I think Maria's still feeling a little bit bad about what she did. As she pumped her hands up and down, a leftover tear fell from her eyelashes into the bowl, and for just a second rested on her finger, sparkling like a jewel. Then Rosa nudged her with her elbow and said, Hey, Nina, it's not so bad. Everyone knows that the second batch of tamales always tastes better than the first, right? When Dolores, Teresa, and Danny heard that from the other side of the room, they let out a big groan. Ugh. I don't think they want to hear about any more tamales. They had eaten so many, they are stuffed. Then Maria couldn't help herself. She laughed, and pretty soon everyone else was laughing, including her mother. And when Maria put her hands back into the bowl of masa, the leftover tear was gone. And look at her face. She's happy again. I'm glad that turned out okay for her. I think next time she sees her mother's ring on the table, I don't think Maria will touch it. I think she's learned her lesson.
So guys, I want to know if that's ever happened to you. Have you ever done something that you probably weren't supposed to do and it was kind of hard to tell the truth? Tell me about it.